Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for supporting me as always. And before I get started with the tag, I just wanted to say happy holidays to everybody. I hope you guys have a great weekend with lots of great presents and food and family and friends, everything that's great. And if you're not celebrating this weekend and you're doing something later, then at least you get a long weekend. So anyways, I got tagged on this video, so I thought it was a super great idea to film right before the craziness of family and friends and cooking gets started. And so I printed out the questions and I'll get started. So the first question is, how did you get your YouTube username? My username actually comes from a blog that I started before I started filming YouTube. And I actually thought of it because I love everything that's style related, so fashion, accessories, makeup, everything. So I thought, you know, people wear that or put that stuff on themselves, so that's how I got the word adorn, and I love it all, so that's how I got the word adore, and I liked how it flowed, so that's how I got it. If you could change your name to anything, what would it be and why? Well, when I was little, I didn't like my name very much. I thought it wasn't very pretty or unique, but I really liked the name Josephine for some reason, and I liked it because the nickname that I associated with it was Joey, and I was a bit of a tomboy as a kid, so I really just loved the idea of it. So I really had wanted that name for, you know, the longest time, and I got over it probably when I was in high school, and I was just like, hey, for whatever. I can't change my name. If you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would it be and why? I would just tell myself to not stress over all the small things that I was stressing over. I would stress out about grades, I would stress out about whether I got invited somewhere or if I was going to be somewhere on Friday night. And all of that stuff really just doesn't even matter. And I know as a kid and as a teenager especially, it's like the hugest thing in the world. But if I could tell myself, just don't worry about it, life gets better, then that's what I would say. How old were you when you first learned to blow a bubblegum bubble? I would probably say I was in 2nd grade, so maybe 6. It was definitely before I got my glasses, so I just remember that night that I was really determined to blow a bubble. So I practiced and practiced and practiced, so it stayed with me. So that's a really funny question for me. What did you want to be when you were little? Well, when I was little, I wanted to be 3 things. The first thing that I wanted to be was a checkout lady, and I don't know why, but I really liked the sound of the things that were scanning across when you purchase things, and I thought it looked super fun pressing all those buttons on the cash register. I don't know, that was just an odd thing about me. And the other thing I wanted to be was a bank teller, and that was because when I went to the bank with my dad, I loved how the bank tellers would, you know, count all the bills out in a nice, you know, nice long line, and it looked so perfect. And now that it's all automated, so it doesn't even matter, but that's what I liked. But the third thing was probably the most noble, which was to be a teacher, because I loved the teachers that I had, and they really inspired me. So if you're a teacher, that's really awesome. What do you order at Starbucks? When I'm at Starbucks, I either get a chai latte with soy milk or just a regular latte with soy milk. I'm not very complicated when it comes to an order from Starbucks. What's the hardest you ever laughed? Oh gosh, I laugh a lot. So that's kind of a hard question, but the one that stands out for me the most right now is when I was on a road trip to Vegas, and for some reason, you know, I thought everything was so funny because I had to use the bathroom really bad, but so did everyone else in the car, and there was so much traffic just getting into Vegas, and so everything, for some reason, I don't even know what we were saying, but it was just hilarious. And laughing with a full bladder while you're stuck in traffic is not funny at all, but for some reason it was just extremely funny, and the situation probably made it funny. If you could play any musical instrument, which would it be and why? When I was a kid, my mom actually put me into piano lessons, but I wasn't a very good pianist. I didn't practice and I wasn't very, dedicated to it. But I really liked the clarinet because when they're trying to recruit kids to go into band, that was the instrument that I liked, or the flute. What's your favorite thing to do when you're upset? Well, first of all, I don't like being upset. I don't think anyone does. And when I'm upset, I'm really emotional and I know I'm not being rational. So the best thing for me is I shut the door to my bedroom, I take a stack of magazines and start, reading through them, or I turn on the TV, but it can't be news because news makes me more stressed out. And not normally, but just when I'm upset, because most times the news dedicates themselves to something that's bad news first and good news later, so it just doesn't make me feel better. Let's see. What's your favorite movie? My favorite movie, I actually have two when I answer that kind of question. The first answer that I say is Grease. It was my first musical that I saw and I just loved the music and I loved the movie. And then the second movie is Ever After, the one with Drew Barrymore. And I love that movie. I know it's based off a Cinderella story, but I particularly like that version because Drew Barrymore's character was such a strong woman, even though she lived in a time when women weren't supposed to be that kind of strong type. And I love that she didn't get saved by the prince and that she got herself out at the end. It was just so fun. I love that movie. And there's been a lot of great movies since, but those are the two answers that I have when I think of favorite movies. What's one food you cannot live without? That would probably be cheese. And I know that's not very interesting or really fancy, at least most times when people think of cheese, but I love it. It just goes with all the types of food that I like. Pizza and pastas and salads. It just tastes so good, and I love going to delis and looking at their cheese section and seeing options and tasting cheese. Oh, I just love it so much. So I'd go figure. As a kid I didn't like it though, so that's weird. Let's see, what's your favorite dessert? I like cheesecake, and I also like green tea ice cream from Haagen-Dazs. I think it's super yummy and I love it. I could go through one of those small pints if I'm not careful. Favorite pizza topping? Pesto. I love pesto. It tastes so yummy and it goes with some of my favorite types of pizzas, which are like Greek pizzas where they have olives and like garlic and feta cheese on them. It's just really good. Would you rather have the superpower to read minds or the superpower to be invisible? I would rather be invisible, and that's probably because I'm a naturally shy person, so being invisible would be the best solution. And also the power to read minds sounds very stressful to me. The thought of having the ability to know what that other person is thinking without them knowing, it freaks me out a little bit. It doesn't sound very fun. What did you do for your last birthday? Well, for my last birthday, I was thrown a surprise party, which was so fun. When I was a kid, I really wanted a surprise party, but wasn't thrown one, and you can't throw yourself a surprise party because that's super lame. But I got my first one last year. It was so great. Not everyone can make it, but the ones who did, it was just so great. I loved it. It was the best time. We just had dinner and lots of great food and just a lot of laughing. It was just great. If you had one personal selfish wish, what would it be and why? Well, I guess that would be the ability to travel anywhere, so funding wouldn't be an issue and neither would work or time. That would just be the most fun thing. I just want to travel everywhere and see everything, and I know that's probably not going to be totally possible in my lifetime, but that would be the best. It would be just my one dream come true. And the final question, what does OMGHHKP mean to you? So now I know that this comes from Juicy Star. She's super cute and super fun, even though I don't know her, but I know she says that when she's super excited about something and she doesn't have an explanation for why that particular acronym comes out. But that's what it means to me. It's just that when you're super excited and just super happy about something and you don't really have proper words to express it, that's what OMG double HKP means, and I think it's super funny that she says it. And I don't personally say it, and I don't actually even say OMG a lot, but that's something that I think of when I see that word or see that acronym. So that's it. So I did it. I finished all the questions. I hope you enjoyed it and got to know me a little bit more. And like I said, just have a great weekend, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!